You're listening to BQN. Assimilate the audio.
Welcome, listeners, to another episode of All Good Things, a Star Trek Universe podcast here on BQN and the Fandom Podcast Network. I'm your host, Amy, and with me is Christos. Hello, Christos.
Good morning, Amy. Welcome back to the States.
Yes, oh my gosh, our wonderful time in Sitges. And then since I was over there, I thought, hey, let's do a Mediterranean cruise. So my sister and I took off from Barcelona. We went to Mallorca, Palma de Mallorca, went to Marseille, France, went to Cinque Terre, Italy, and went to La Bracciano Lake in Italy, and then down to Pompeii, Sorrento, and Capri, Italy, and then back to Barcelona.
Well,
You
that
know,
sounds amazing.
we do cruises, and sort of our favorite days are ship days. There was only one day at sea. It was go, go, go.
That is, I did one cruise in the Mediterranean before, and it's like that because things aren't that far. So
Mhm.
it's rare that you get a whole day at sea.
Yeah, it was very exhausting, but go, 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 very fly by. I don't know. I just feel like in the Caribbean, we have more days at sea, and I really do enjoy that. So something that I learned on this trip. So,
Nice.
and you've got San Diego Pride going on right now, yeah?
Yeah, I'm in a respite. I went out at 9 in the morning yesterday to meet my boys, many of which I think you've met before, and I got home at like 9:30 last night. I was out for like 12 and a half hours, literally drinking all day and partying. And
Yeah.
I met the nicest straight couple, though.
Oh.
Dalen, and I'm trying to remember her name. He's adorable. I kept on calling them Benson Boone and Miley Cyrus because that's what they look like.
Oh.
And they literally hung with us for half the day. Like, it was just like they were
Nice.
just so good. And it was their first Pride, and they had just moved to San Diego. And I felt like we were
Nice.
like, we were popping their cherry. And we were having a
Nice.
great time, and just like, and they were like, "I can't believe how much fun you guys are." And we're like, "Can't believe how normal you are." So it was good. It was good. It was always good to see that there are allies out there who just, at the end of the day, want to have a good time, and love is love, and doesn't matter, and fun is fun. So it
Yes,
was a good day.
absolutely. Oh, very good.
Check out my Instagram story. You'll find my friends.
That's who they are. Okay.
Yeah, that's who they are.
Now, did you meet up with Steven from host of Galaxy Class?
We literally were texting all day yesterday, and then about midday, I think we passed each other on the street, and we were both pretty hammered. I mean, just to be completely. And he was going one way and I was going the other. So that was like the extent of seeing Steven, with a quick hug in the street.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Nice. Well, fun.
yeah. He was like, at one point, "I don't have a car." I'm like, "Get an Uber." So I don't have my car either. You think I'm driving today?
Right? Yeah. And who wants to worry about driving and parking? And yeah,
And I just wanted to be unrestricted in my fun. So,
exactly.
and responsible, listeners, responsible.
Exactly. Because that's when you can have fun, is when you are being responsible, and then your worries are free,
Yeah. But it's been such a weekend. Here, I'll dovetail this in. I actually only finished our 2 new episodes of Strange New Worlds, like, last night, as I was like eating some dinner at 10 o'clock on the couch, trying to get my act together so
Mhm.
I could go to sleep and wake up and do this. So shall we talk a little
Oh
bit about
my.
those?
Yes. I am still on like Europe time. So my body's waking up at like 3 a.m. It's disgusting. And so yeah, I was Thursday morning in bed watching Strange New Worlds at like 3:30 in the morning.
I
But I
mean,
did get to watch it again. So
I think the only season I ever did that was when Picard season 3 was dropping. I was waking up at 5 to watch those new episodes so it wouldn't get spoiled for me.
Right, before going to
Yeah,
work. Yeah.
before I go to work, and then like 12 hours later, I've seen all the crap on the internet. But um, two very different new episodes. I mean, like there couldn't be more different in tone.
Exactly. Like, and I watched Hegemony Part 1 back in May. And so when they did the previously on Strange New Worlds, and I still was like, what in the heck is going on? It's just such a long gap between the stories.
Yeah.
How were you in picking up and what was going on?
I mean, picking it up wasn't hard, but being as invested in it was. Like, I
Yeah.
felt like it was so long a gap. It was such a 2-year cliffhanger, pretty much, that it was like, okay, just wrap this up. And you've already shown us through all the other trailers and all the other, whatevers that everybody makes it out. So I didn't feel like, I felt like no matter what, I knew it was going to all get resolved. Even Battelle, we knew was going to live. So I feel like they ruined a lot of it for us
Mm-hmm.
by showing us a little bit too much about the characters. I mean, I'm glad they wrapped it up. I'm glad it's wrapped up. Uhura's wig was so awful because in real life, her hair in episode 2 is how she looks. So
Mm,
she grew her hair out over the 2 years or whatever,
yeah.
and they had to put her in some sort of really restrictive wig to make it match the
Mm-hmm.
finale of season 2. And it's just like there was stuff like that. It was like when Bev's hair didn't look right in Best of Both Worlds episode 2. It's like your wig just changed from camera shot to camera
Yes.
shot. You know what I mean? It was like one of those kind of moments. I was like, there were just things like that. And it's like, I mean, I liked it, but the gap really hurt, I think is probably the best way to
Mm-hmm.
say that. But
Yeah.
and how do we feel about our, let's just call it our Q episode? Of because
You
Q does
know,
show up.
it yes.
Spoiler alert.
It was funny because I didn't recognize John Delancey's voice because the very first time he speaks, it's like a computer, generated. And so I couldn't tell. And
Yeah.
so then I'm like, oh, I don't know this voice. So I just went along that same thinking of I don't recognize the voice. And then it was Mark who's like, John Delancey. And I'm like, what? What are you talking about? I'm like, oh, duh.
It got it came in a little more clear for me toward the end of that. Yeah, I I thought the episode looked amazing. I loved the wedding costumes and couple weird things for me though was like, first off, it wasn't once again, it was not one of those, like, it wasn't a big stakes episode. It was a Q hijinks episode,
Hmm.
and also meant to kind of reflect on feelings as a background note, with so I was like, I wish we just kind of would get to a mission, and maybe it place this episode a little later.
Hmm.
Because it's not a bad episode. I just wanted to go see a regular adventure where it's not gore and it's not, just like go do a Star Trek, and so this was kind of just like a Q hijinks episode for me. Um, Honestly, though, like what I loved and cringed all at the same time was the use of Wham's "Wake Me Up Before You Go Go."
Oh,
Like, okay, is that supposed to be implied that 400 years from now, that song is now a classic and people are still dancing to it? Cool, and maybe not so cool.
yeah. I
It
wonder how
it
that's going to age,
yeah, it just
come
caught me
50
at
years later, you
yeah,
know?
when I talk about bringing me out of things, that was like,
Hmm.
oh, yeah. It was more of one of those moments, but otherwise, I thought, it was a gorgeous episode. Like I said, I loved what's that, Starbase One?
Mm,
Where they're at,
yeah.
how they have the wedding and the bubble and the dome and everything.
Yeah.
I loved that they went in there. I love that you could see the starships and things like that, and I thought that was all very cool.
Yeah. I'm with you with the whiplash of tones between the two episodes. And it truly would have benefited from having a week in between. I get releasing like two episodes if they're tied together, but this was just bizarro and why do it? And also, I agree with you that I would have liked to have seen that a little bit later in the season. in part because, like, I'm used to episode 5 being the Spock funny one, and this was the Spock funny one at episode 2. I'm like, come on
Yeah.
now, let's follow the trend. Put that at episode 5. But I liked. I thought Dr. Corbin. Yeah,
Yeah, Corby. Yeah.
Corby. Really gave me Okana vibes from TNG.
Oh,
Remember
okay. Oh, I know you're
just
talking
sort
about.
of his look with the
Yeah.
scruffy beard and the sort of
I
longer hair and just this archaeologist, and I was really
I thought he
getting
was
Okana vibes.
I thought he was sexy, but
Yes.
hey, yeah. So, I mean, that was appreciated, and I guess they let Spock have his chest hair back, so
Yeah.
that's
There was lots of comments about that.
yeah, I just think it was a little jarring, back to back. Otherwise, like I said, if it were like episode 4, I'd be good.
Mhm.
I don't think we also need to have a Spock hijinks episode every season. We only have 10 episodes a year. I
Mhm.
mean, we don't need a Spock's hijinks every year. I mean, we still haven't gotten an Ortegas episode yet.
Yeah. That was one thing that with Hegemony that she got stabbed or,
Mm.
impaled completely through. And then she's flying the ship, blood is oozing out of her. And I'm like, Dr. Mbenga, you're right there. Can you just do some like patchwork a little bit so she's not
Like
bleeding
it's
out? I just,
like a tourniquet or
yeah.
something, like you
I
yeah, I
just
gotcha.
that was that took me out of it because I'm like, there's a doctor, she's bleeding. And
Dr.
so I'm
Crusher would have
wondering,
took her robe off and wrapped it around her and
yeah,
tied it in a bow and
you're not just gonna let her bleed out. So that, yeah. And then seeing at the very end of Wedding Bell Blues with her and the Gorn shadow in the reflection or whatever, is that in her mind or because she was impaled? Do you think that there's some kind of Gorn nanites or germ that's in her or something?
eggs. Um,
Yeah.
first off, I hope it's not that. We just went through that with Battelle, so I don't think we need
Yeah.
to go down that road again. Um, I think maybe it's strong PTSD maybe from the experience and,
Mm.
I just felt like I was waiting for Pike to walk up and dance with her.
Oh,
It
right?
looked
Oh, for
really awkward,
sure.
and I thought she was gonna come up and dance with her and include her and pull her in,
Yes.
and instead she left. So that felt actually a little weird, like,
Mhm.
there was too much of him watching her and too much time for him to not have
No.
taken action.
Yep.
Yeah, like, so that felt strange, but I get what we're trying to do. She's stressed and anxiety, and she's, obviously wants to go beat something up in order to get that out of her system, and then
Mhm.
we see a little bit of, what's on her mind. So I guess that's, TBD. I also saw, I don't know if it was clickbait, because I try not to open up every one of these articles. There was some implication in an article that maybe Ortegas and Uhura were gonna have a little dalliance, like, a little
Oh.
romantics.
Oh. Well, did you get the impression that her and the brother?
That's what I thought. That's why I'm like, "Okay, well, maybe that's an or different Ortegas."
Yeah, right?
Yeah,
Maybe.
yeah,
S and it seemed very much that, "Oh, we're gonna pick up this bartender. We're gonna," we've now picked up Scotty. Like, we're just picking up all these people. Oh, they were
yeah.
gonna pick up someone else, and I was just like, "Okay, what's going on here?"
Well, just adding to the ship, man.
I'm like,
Yeah,
"Yeah,
I did think the three-armed bartender was pretty cool,
yeah,
but, yeah, that was pretty cool. Kudos. That's what I wanna see more of in Star Trek is, like, show me aliens, especially
mhm,
now that with our technology today, we can do so much more. Like, I
yeah,"
like
and that
I did
third hand was useful, like, it wasn't just a prop, it was
yeah, like
doing things.
yeah, that was you're well suited to be a bartender with 3 hands. I liked how, Scotty was having Guinness too, that was cute. Um, the other thing too, the wedding was full of lots of aliens. I thought that was really cool. Like, that's the most
Mhm,
aliens I think we've seen on screen in a long time in Trek from different
right,
species and whatnot. So that was pretty I think that's one of the reasons I like the wedding a lot, especially when
mhm.
the True Lane says, "How dare you wear blue?" when I'm wearing blue, they're like literally blue skinned.
Yes.
There was some cute stuff.
Yeah, for
All right, so
sure.
maybe I liked it more than I think I did because I'm laughing about it now.
Right.
Well, it feels good to be talking Star Trek again, and then also like talk about like having just done a trip, but like I think we're just a little bit out, 2 weeks away from STLV. I'm like looking at the calendar. I think is it like 2 weeks from Tuesday that I get to Vegas?
Oh my gosh, I know. Yeah, 2, 1, 2. Yep.
Yeah, I'm like, here we go.
Yep.
There we go again, more Trekkies and, getting back together. Calvin and I were just like, we're just kind of on a little brief hiatus from each other after.
Yeah. Oh, I
So
know. It's going to be so good to see everyone. And listeners, we've got on our Discord server a channel dedicated to STLV. And so people are asking questions, because a lot of us have been many, many times. And we've got newcomers. I'm very excited to meet some of them. And so join us on our Discord server there to get all the information. And if we can get a meetup, that's where we will be, posting that. So,
you need to remind me to bring these stickers. I have a whole drawer of them.
oh, that's right. Yes.
Yeah. Well, I need to get the all good things one. I think I started ordering those and I forgot to order all good. So I need to go finish that so they come in time.
Yes. And I'm sure JJ will be having his pins. So you'll definitely want to get one of those. They're very, very special.
Yeah. And JJ, shout out if you're listening. I'm sure you are. I'm going to need more because I've been slowly giving all mine away and to people. They've been gifted on to the universe, but
Yes, they have,
I'm get,
as have
I'm
mine.
getting low. I'm getting low.
My Klingon one. Hint, hint. Well, Christos, let's get on to what we are talking about today, which is what?
Nice, nice. Orange today. Oh, it's Lord
Oh,
Metamorphosis Part 5. 2 weeks of Part 5, by the way. I think I said that last week. It is
mhm.
Enterprise's Extinction, Season 3, Episode 3. And I'll just first start off, listeners, by saying if this episode were extinct, I'd be okay too. So Archer, Reed, and Sato are threatened by a virus that mutates into a primal life form. I'm going to say not just the three of them, but T'Pol too. I mean, she was
Yeah.
partially transformed and not doing well. So and she was in danger too. So
Yeah.
let's not leave T'Pol out. So yeah, more metamorphosis. Here we are.
Yeah. So let's just first off talk about the virus because I have questions. How is it spreading? Is it
And
like a airborne? Was it touched in through plants? Like,
I'm
do
going to
we
say airborne
know?
because I feel like I think Reed was the first one that said something that was weird. Oh, I don't like the tropics, but that was already the virus affecting him. And I don't think he had touched anything. So, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, they weren't, excuse me, they weren't touching the body. I mean, I guess T'Pol maybe touched the ship, but I
Mm,
think it was airborne.
yeah. Okay. And then super fast acting. I don't know if it's that believable because you're like, yeah, so they were on the planet and then like, bam, all of a sudden they all transform super fast. Like
Yeah.
no slowly migrating. Come on now. I think they could have built up the suspense as they were progressing. They could have
Yeah.
done that.
I mean, in part, it could have been just like how fast they were making the episode go because it moves pretty fast. Like, so
Mhm.
Um, yeah, and did you like not by the way, did you like that planet? Did it not give you like Arsenal of Freedom vibes?
Oh, totally.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was like, we've been here. It's this planet hell. They just literally dusted off the ferns, the plastic ferns, and put some fresh mulch down. But
Oh, in the
anyway,
same caves, that they're
yeah,
running through. I'm just like, "Okay."
I mean, guys, 18 years later, and you're still, okay. Yeah. So, and I also think it was a little unbelievable how, T'Pol does call Enterprise and say, we're transforming and blah, blah, blah. And they're like, well, maybe she meant it literally. Well, what do you think she meant?
Right? Yeah, that was a little weird, and they're like, "Well, we see a Vulcan life signature and 3 others. Could this be our crew?" Well, you already knew that there was no life forms on the planet anyways, except
And
metal,
she
so who
and
else
she
could it
said they're
be?
transforming. I mean, like, come on, Nancy Drew needs to come connect the dots for you guys. I'm like, so bad writing there. I'm gonna say bad writing there. I mean, it's just bad exposition. I mean, there's a reason I guess we call this, what it is. But
Yeah.
um, so yeah, there's that podcast that was like what Star Trek Rejuvenations. I think
Oh,
Jack Tracy did that one with Sean Ferrick for a hot minute, and it was always about how you would go fix episodes. I mean, this episode could be fixed. It just
oh,
there's just
yeah.
some things, about it. So I kind of forgot though, as we talk about the 24 episode Cindy arc, that there are some stinkers in that arc. So, and they're kind of
Yes.
like standalone stinkers, and this is
Mhm.
kind of one of them.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Um, and again, like, I didn't believe how fast acting it was, like, when the aliens that were guarding, and eradicating all life because they didn't want the virus to spread, like, when his suit got injured and you heard the hissing of the suit in the air, and then, like, they do a close up and you can see his, face start bulging, and I'm like, "Dude, it's can't be that fast acting." I'm sorry I'm keep harping about it, but it's so unbelievable to me. It
Yeah,
just
well, that's instantaneous, and it's not. I
Yeah.
mean, it's like I can see if it's like an injection and you've been injected, something could start right away, but, like, you're breathing it in, it needs,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. I mean, and this ugh, yeah, you're right,
Yeah.
and the purpose of the virus, right, to repopulate the species, I guess, because they couldn't reproduce anymore. And this overall arching, like, need to return home, which I'm like, that is the same thing that happened to LaForge in the season 4 Identity Crisis episodes,
Mhm.
where they wanted to get back to that planet, and so I'm like, there's a little too much similarity there for me. Maybe we're comparing and contrasting a little soon here, but that's just exactly what I thought of, and
Mhm.
yeah, so between the fast acting and, like, well, then Phlox is like, "What? Well, they should have just programmed it to turn off after they repopulated," and I'm like, "Can you do that? Can you
Yeah.
I mean, can you just tell a virus, like, when there's enough, you can stop working?" That seemed a little bit. I mean, I'm no medical doctor, and I know it's science fiction, but, like, that doesn't sound right.
So, but and I guess we're jumping ahead because that purpose of the virus, like, do you really believe that a population would create something to destroy any other life? Like, my life is more important than yours? Like, I'm going to take over your body. This is very Borg. This is very,
It is
you
very
know?
Borg. It is very Borg. It's like, you no
Mm.
longer exist, and this is what exists now. So, that's a good point. It's very Borgish.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the reasons why I think the other species, to be fair, the eradicators, whatever you wanna call them, they're not wrong. They're literally, it's bad stuff. It's
Yeah.
you or that, it's us or them. You
Mhm.
either gonna you're good it's either you mutate or you don't, and so they're doing, I think, their due diligence. I don't really see them as enemies in this, and
No.
they've been spending 60 years trying to fight this virus, so
Mhm.
assuming that this Federation ship, who they don't even know these people, are gonna be able to cure it, I can see where they're being, you know, cautious and like, "No, we've been dealing with this. You ain't gonna solve this in an hour." And yes, maybe they should have been more patient, but still, I didn't see these guys as bad guys.
No,
And
not at all. I mean, they're basically guardians of the galaxy, if you will,
yeah,
because it would destroy every life.
yeah,
So they are doing a huge service for their SAR system and
yeah,
for their
yeah.
universe.
But I mean, it is kind of funny for them. It's like, oh wow, you guys came along and solved it in a day. We must be so freaking incompetent. Um, Another cheesy moment, and we can maybe call that a regeneration if you want to later on. But like, T'Pol just happens to eat the peach, take one bite, which leaves DNA. Solved. Like, I would have better,
Yes.
seen them find a strand of her hair on the pillow or something, or on the brush.
Ah,
That is
a
so much more
brush. Yeah.
believable than having to create this other scene at the beginning of the episode, which had that not happened, they may have not solved the problem.
Right. Yeah.
So that was a
That
little bit like,
was yeah, that's sort of in my regeneration too. That it's like, what do you mean? The doctor should have everyone's like a blood sample. He should have the ship's crew's DNA in his files. Like that just seemed weird. Is did they not have that on TOS?
I mean, it's another
Is
thing, and I
that
know,
just my TNG brain thinking?
well, it's 100 years before TOS, so, I mean,
Yeah.
it is Enterprise, so, but yeah, I feel like they've been there before, so, like you said, like, there's DNA everywhere. I mean, I shed all over the place. There's,
Yeah.
my hair, here's a strand of hair. I could find one right on this desk, you know? Um, come on. Like, and yeah, anyways,
Yeah.
I'm gonna save my other
So,
stuff for regenerations.
but it was cool that, T'Pol, got to save the day and her alien blood. Um, Now, but going back to sort of the purpose, like, so at the end, I loved how they tried to have this, dilemma of should we destroy the virus or not? But I still think if this society created a virus, that is not this population. Like, you're not saving a civilization because a civilization isn't a virus.
Right. I feel like, once again, the writers failed in framing how they could have worded that scene, because it's like, well, the virus, when transformed, you have these memories of a civilization that is long gone now. That is
Mhm,
valuable, right? When you talk about preservation of a civilization and what happened and
mhm.
whatnot. So it'd be like, should we save this so that maybe in the future we could figure out a better way to control this virus, but still be able to access the database of memories of that civilization? Um, I think that lands a little bit more than saying, well, this is just some, mutagenic virus and it's going to eradicate the universe if we don't keep it. It could, hypothetically change all life in the universe. So
Right.
in that case, you're like, yeah, incinerate that shit. But
Mhm.
otherwise, it's like, well, this actually holds the key to the whole memories of an ancient civilization long gone. And, maybe we can figure out a better way to tap into that in the future. I mean,
Yeah.
sorry,
Yeah.
I'm here. Put me on the writing staff, please.
Yes, please. We're
Okay.
zhuzhing this up.
Yeah, exactly. Well, like I said, like, it's like you almost know what they were trying to do there. That's what makes the episode so cringy, because in so many of the scenes, like, you know what they were going for, but
Mhm.
it's just not landing. And the painful part is sitting there on the couch is you already know how to do it better.
Yes.
Listeners, are we wrong? I mean, please leave us some notes.
And it was pretty harsh when those guardians of the planet, like, they were gonna just kill everyone, including their own,
Yeah.
they came across the guy and, like, flamethrowed him, didn't even think twice about it, and it's like, you
Well,
know that T'Pol hasn't transformed all the way. They've seen her, you
yeah.
know? So, ugh,
Yeah.
so
Well, so you said, they're like right away, there's something about her DNA that is resistant to the virus. Vulcan DNA is not being fully transformed. Another thing, I know they did it for effect, but flamethrowing the victims. I would use like a phaser on vaporize. Like, I think that seems like a more humane way to take
right.
somebody out rather than burning them to death.
Yeah.
So that's part is a little cringy. I guess
Yeah,
these
I
are all
think
like,
that's
I guess these are all regenerations, but
Yeah, I think it sorta goes back to that idea of, like, how do you, like, thoroughly kill something as you burn it, you know?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
like I mean, you see that in labs and things like that. So I know
Yeah.
that's what they were going for there. But like
The Black
I mean,
Plague, everyone would burn their stuff, you know.
yeah, but it's not medieval times here. Maybe that's what it is. It seems a little medieval
Yes.
for Star Trek. Yes. Anyways,
Well, do you have any assimilations?
um, I mean, I think here I have one that's both assimilation and a regeneration at the same time. So I'll start with that one. The use of CGI to show the old civilization, the old city, at a 75-inch TV and it's HD and it's 2025. So it was quite obvious to me that it was really early day CGI. On the flip side, it was pretty. I remember because I watched Enterprise first one. It was pretty groundbreaking to watch that kind of stuff on TV and start seeing this much like stuff that they would never have been able to do on Star Trek: The Next Generation or
Mhm.
further in earlier days. So even just 10 years earlier. So I loved seeing that they were really expanding what they could do. Does it hold up as well? No. So that's why I call it a little bit of a regeneration. But still, I mean, effort was there. Enterprise got really good with its special effects, especially by seasons 3 and 4.
Mhm.
And so that was a really cool, I guess I'll call it an assimilation.
Yeah, I agree because I was, like, looking at it and I'm like, "This ain't no matte painting," like we are so used to with TNG.
Yeah. It's moving.
Yeah. I really liked, Hoshi's movements when she, was transformed, mutated, and really all of them did great, but there was one scene where Archer was talking to T'Pol and, like, she was just, like, standing there and her body, like, twerked and tweaked in this weird shape, and I'm like, "How is she doing it?" And it just made it feel like she was so alien. Um, I know it's campy, but I will give her props and the others for doing it.
So your assimilation is like a regeneration for me.
Oh,
I thought that looked like bad interpretive dance going on by all three of them. Like, I'm like, "What are they doing?" And it looks like, they are overacting the hell out of this. I mean, it's like they're in 10 forward at one of Beverly's interpretive dance moment
yes.
things, and it's like, "Oh, wow." It was a little overboard.
And LeVar Burton directed this episode. So, I mean, either he's going to get praise from me for having him do that or a little criticism like, whoa, calm down now.
That's so funny that LeVar Burton directed it because Identity Crisis was a
Right.
Geordi episode, and
Yeah,
I have a little background in this. I've had this happen to me before.
exactly. Let me show you how this is done.
Let me show you how it's done. At least they didn't have the weird hands.
Yeah. And
Um,
I
what else did we
liked
have there?
also that, T'Pol's head, like, mutated, but just a little bit, so, as what you were saying, like, she did get mutated, just not all the way because of her K cells in her blood, so I liked that we got to visually see that she was affected in some way.
Yeah, it was almost like after she passed out, like, her body fought back enough and it stabilized because she was
Mhm.
changing up until that point, and then she kinda passes out, and then they captured her, but, I like that eventually she kinda convinces them to also, like, with the universal translator and all that stuff, and kinda starts communicating with them and building trust. I thought that was kind of watching that was good part of the story there because it made sense.
Mhm.
No, she needed them to talk so that the translator
Mhm.
could sample the sound dialect and try to, translate it and build that translation. So, I liked that whole part of it, and so that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was interesting that they had words and the clicking sounds, and I was like, "Do we need both?" I felt like that was a little above and beyond.
Yeah, it was like, was it reptilian? Was it avian? Was it I
Yeah.
or the human? I mean, it was just a little all over the place, but
Yeah.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
yeah. And then ultimately, like when they do show them whatever they're de-evolving into, we'll call it, or re-evolving into, that's kind of not what the civilization they had a very, ancient Greek looking civilization there, and the CGI bodies were moving, just fine. So that wasn't as primitive as these people were that they were de-evolving into, like it
Mhm.
looked more like their people were more civilized and upright and
Mhm.
human acting. So maybe that part wasn't such that's maybe now that I just really thought of that as we're talking here, and I think that was kind of weird.
Yeah, I had that as a regeneration too. I'm like, it's hard to believe that this, primal that we see in, Archer, Reed, and Hoshi, like they're gonna build this amazing civilization. That was a little stretch. And again, they needed to bridge that gap. Like I could get like at the beginning of the episode when they were having difficulty, talking to T'Pol and trusting her, but then like that trust should have led them to a more civilization that we would have seen more similar to Archer's dream,
Yeah,
like yeah.
yeah. How did you feel? And this was an ongoing thing for several seasons in Enterprise, but the pollen trip naked time, I call it. The sleep therapy and acupuncture or whatever the hell she's doing for him. But ultimately, it was, in my opinion, and maybe it's not an opinion. I think it's what it was. Them trying to make the show more risque, more sexy. Let's get Jolene Baylock down to this little like crop top pajama thing with her really low riding pajama pants, and
Mhm.
let's get Connor Trinneer's shirt off and all of that, like uh, all that little sexy time stuff that they're like, was it just like desperate ploy for ratings or did we need it?
Yeah, there's not a reason. Yeah, it's just so hetero. Like, it's just so masculine and so like, "Oh, here's some peaches because 'cause I've canceled on you twice." Like, who d no, that's just the whole writing of it is just makes my skin crawl. Do not like it. And and it's just so awkward between them. It's like the actors don't have that kind of chemistry together. I mean, I almost believe it more with T'Pol and Archer.
Yeah, they had a little bit more going on, I think.
Yeah, but their chemistry as actors, what's Archer's real name? The actor?
Uh, why'd you do that to me?
I
I
know.
see I see him, I see him, I see him.
Quantum Leap.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Archer.
Gosh darn it.
We are the worst Trekkies.
Uh, well, Jolene Blalock and that guy, they've got good chemistry, but, Connor Trinneer is it Connor who plays Trip? Yeah. Oh my gosh, we're terrible. But Connor
Scott
Trinneer
Bakula.
and Jolene, I don't think have chemistry together. I just
Yeah,
yeah.
Scott Bakula.
Scott Bakula, thank you.
Here to help. Thanks, Google. Yeah. I told you I was out drinking for 12 hours yesterday. You're gonna have to yeah. This is not a morning for Trexperts.
No.
Thank you
Which
very
it
much
will
for
be
pardon my
starting after Strange New Worlds. Little,
yeah.
promotion for our
Whoop,
Trexpert.
whoop. Hey, Davey. We did talk to Davey about our little trivia night in the apartment in Sitges.
Oh, yes, that was such a fun game.
Moogie.
What's it called? Family? Is that what
I
it's
don't
called?
know.
Yeah.
It was fun though because I think everyone was just drunk and having a good time, but it was
Yeah.
all built around Star Trek, so that was fun.
And then we had Justin and Wendy who don't really know anything about Star Trek, and they were off out talking and having a
They were
good
good.
conversation, so, yeah,
They were
it
gabbing.
was so much fun.
All
Oh, I
right.
digress. Let's get to some trivia about Extinction. You wanna start us off?
Sure. This episode is dedicated to a Mr. Jerry Fleck, the show's first assistant director, who died unexpectedly in his sleep at age 55. Oh,
Yeah.
sad.
Well, 10 years after this episode aired, Brannon Braga said it was, quote, one of the singularly most embarrassing episodes of Star Trek I've ever been involved with, end quote.
Well,
Ouch.
I haven't read any of these, so I feel very vindicated in my harsh review of this episode because
Yeah.
if the creator disowned it 10 years later, I don't feel like I'm committing any Star Trek sin here by being critical of it. Well, we talked a little bit about this. Sorry, listeners, I am literally reading these. Amy wrote all the trivia part ahead of time. I just read this one before I. So LeVar Burton directed this episode, which we said earlier, and later went on to the producers and told them he was ashamed to have directed this episode.
I mean, we have talked about a lot of episodes, and I've not heard this on any other episode.
When the director and the writer are like, that's embarrassing. Embarrassing.
Right? Ouch.
I wish I had. I mean, I just wish I hadn't collected the paycheck on that episode. Take my name off of it.
Right? Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Yeah. Now the two flamethrowers from this episode and boots that the alien and there were a whole bunch of other props were sold at It's a Wrap auction on eBay. They're like, get rid of everything. I'm just kidding.
The script mentions that a new Vulcan shuttlecraft, which John Eves designed, however, due to time and budget, it was never built. Yeah, too busy bringing back Arsenal, Freedom, Realness.
Yeah.
I will say, I know that was the last, I did like the alien guy who comes on the ship. I liked his outfit. I thought that was well designed. It was kind of
Yes.
little body armory, a little superhero-y, but it was still pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, final thoughts on this embarrassing episode. And I'm going to ask you, who did it better? Was it TNG's Identity Crisis? We have Voyager's Threshold, TNG Masks, and TNG Genesis.
All right. Who did it better? So first off, I'm going to just instantly throw away Masks and Threshold because, yeah, they're cringy. I mean, Threshold's fun until the last 20 minutes, and then it kind of falls apart. Genesis is good. It's a little bit more horror.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe, okay, well, maybe it's just because of the OG who did it first, but I feel like Identity Crisis is a really solid episode. And things like when they're using the holodeck to look at shadows and the kind of the mystery solving aspects of it, I think that's some really cool stuff. And the makeup is really cool. And the metamorphosis is a little bit more slower and creepier because of that. So, and scarier because you're these guys we get to really explore why they're afraid and that they are afraid of changing and they know it's coming. So I'm going to I think hands down Identity Crisis for me.
Okay.
What do you
Gosh, it's interesting that TNG have 3 on this list out of 5 so far. And in my opinion, each 3 is perfection. I love Masks. I love Genesis. I love Identity Crisis. Yeah, Threshold sort of falls apart. So I don't really consider that, but for me, I agree with you. Identity Crisis has a great mathematical concept that I've talked about on Amy's Math Moments. And so there's this strong pull at my math heart to choose Identity Crisis. But with Masks, I love the mythology of the story. But Genesis, I just feel is really believable. And I love the creativity. I love that Gates directed it. I love Troy's frog in the tub. So I'm gonna say Genesis for this. I think.
Yay! Well, I'm glad you did that because I don't think Genesis is a bad episode by any means. I think Identity Crisis is a little better. But in fact, if I had to rank them, I would say Identity Crisis, Genesis, Masks, Threshold. Between
and then Extinction at the bottom.
And I mean, Extinction might be one of the worst Enterprise episodes. So it's got to be in the bottom 3.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, listeners, we do want you to watch it. I hope you watched it if you're listening to this. I mean, if you haven't watched it, hopefully you're just enjoying this podcast for its satire and comic relief
Yes.
of trashing the episode. But like I said, there's some good ones here. But I mean, they all fit.
Yeah.
They all fit the series. So
Yep, they do. Yep.
Yeah.
And listeners, let us know if we are missing another episode from a different series that change,
Yeah.
metamorphosize.
yeah, if there's a Metamorphosis inspired episode that you want us to
Yes.
cover in this series, I haven't looked ahead to see what else we've identified to cover. But
Right.
there's always new.
Yeah. Yeah. Calling all audiophiles and Trekkies. Prepare to boldly go where no podcast listener has gone before with the diverse soundscapes of BQN. We're not just a network, we're a universe of exploration, entertainment, and deep dives into the topics you love. Here's your star map to the sonic adventures awaiting you. Charting the Star Trek cosmos, we have all good things. Embark on a comprehensive journey through the entire Star Trek universe with insightful crew of Amy, Christos, Kelvin, and Kristin. From classic to current, they cover it all. Galaxy Class, Engage. Stephen and Stefan pilots this deep space mission, meticulously covering all aspects of Star Trek: The Next Generation. Infinite Diversity. Stay current with the newest Star Trek frontiers alongside Chrissy and Thad. Union Federation. Whether your allegiances lies with Starfleet or the Planetary Union, Kyle, Kevin, Amy, and Haley offer a unified front discussing both current Star Trek and the truly Trek at heart, the Orville. Crack open that book with Peter and the Trek Book Club podcast. Delve into the rich tapestry of Star Trek's beta canon. What's the T-Bab? Christos spills the latest Trek news and fandom insights with an essential LGBTQIA+ perspective, complete with engaging guest interviews. Our visual voyages that you can find on YouTube as well as a podcast are Trexperts Quiz. Think you're a Starfleet Academy graduate? Test your knowledge with Davey and MC's challenging Star Trek quiz show. And the View Screen. Tune in live on Sundays for your dose of Trek-inspired talk show. Kelvin and Amy host new 8-week seasons each spring and fall. Beyond the final frontier, we have Bargain Bin Gamer. Davey and Mitch, your self-proclaimed gamer guides, lead you to digital treasures, unearthing and reviewing the most affordable video game gems. Cinema Z. Grab your metaphorical popcorn for Mark and Matt's cinematic deep dives, unearthing overlooked films that demand your attention. History with the Szilagys. In order to never repeat it, tune in as Chrissy and Jason deliver bite-sized snippets of historical events from around the globe. And Transformational Journeys. Lex Rosa explores what it means to embrace authenticity in the face of societal expectations. To unlock deeper levels of engagement, try our patron perks. The Hive Mind is where you can join our random script readings, live reaction shows, and roundtable discussions. And check out our back catalog of It's Green, a verdant cornucopia of topics offering diverse and engaging conversations, and Amy's Math Moments. Discover the subtle and not so subtle mathematical wonders woven into the fabric of Star Trek. You can stay connected to our ever-expanding galaxy of content by following at BQN Podcasts on Instagram, Bluesky, YouTube, and Discord. We appreciate you choosing BQN to fill your auditory needs. Thank you for listening. Assimilate the audio. Well, what are we discussing next week, Christos?
Well, we are returning to our That's a Wrap series, which I guess is us covering show finales.
Mhm.
And we will be covering Discovery's Life Itself, which is basically just about a year old now. I mean, it's not an old finale. It's still very fresh. So I'm looking forward
Yeah.
to I'm looking forward to my homework for next week, because I think I haven't really rewatched season 5 of Discovery since it aired. So I liked it. So I'm gonna look forward to watching this and talking about it next week.
So the question is, are you going to just watch the one last episode? Because it's like,
That's
we're going to
hard.
be able to jump in.
No, I think if I get my act together this week, maybe I'll start like tomorrow and try to get several episodes at least leading up to the finale. And I do want to also rewatch our 2 Strange New Worlds episodes, like at a better hour of my day, with
Yeah.
no coming off of 12 hours at the bar or anything like that. So I feel like I need to give it my undivided before we get to episode 3 this week too. So it's busy. Hey, we're back with Star Trek. I mean, it feels weird that we have new Star Trek airing Thursdays.
Oh,
It's been a
no.
little bit of a drought. I mean, especially when
Yes.
did you see Section 31 got nominated for an Emmy?
What? For what? I mean,
I
for
think it was
what?
like sound or costume or something, but still, it's
Oh,
yeah. And I thought
costume? Wasn't that creative in the costuming?
I don't know, and I mean, even
I
this
don't.
episode. I mean, I want to give Extinction a Razzie as it is. I mean, it's sorry, you would never guess that we're Star Trek fans. We just have,
Oh,
you know what?
right.
The bar's just high here. I'm sorry, the bar's
It
just high.
is. Yes.
We want Ad Astra per Aspera level Star Trek people, and
Oh,
when we get Extinction, there's a contrast.
yeah. You know, not to go back, but you mentioned that amazing episode, like when they were in giving Patel Una's blood, the Illyrian blood.
Yep.
Is that what she has? Um, and just, oh, well, that's, against Federation. And it just, that one little sentence brought back that entire episode, the courtroom. And it was so brilliant. It was
Yeah.
chef's
Yeah.
kiss. Cause it
Yeah.
just, yeah.
And if you like watched it and you know, if you missed it, you missed
Mhm.
it. But for Battelle, had they not been successful in exonerating Una, she would have died.
Mm-hmm.
So there you
Yeah.
go.
Because Una wouldn't have been on the ship. Exactly.
That sort of short-sightedness would have
Yep.
been the end of her. I mean, not
Yep.
that was what Battelle wanted, but
Yeah.
she was definitely on our side, so to speak. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, she cut her
Yeah.
hair in this new episode. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
I liked her dress. I liked her dress
I'm now
with the
on
wedding,
board. Yeah, I'm now on board with Pike and Patel.
which is
It's
why I think
taken
she's
me a
going to
long
die.
time.
That's why I think she's going to die this season,
Oh,
because
well,
we need to beat Pike up some more before.
yeah. Before,
Sorry,
yeah.
listeners. That's just my prediction at episode 2. When things look too good to be true, it usually is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. All right.
Well, listeners, we would love to hear what you thought of today's show, and there are many ways you can do this. You can join our Facebook group, the BQN Collective. You can join our Discord server, or you can follow us on Bluesky and Instagram at BQN Podcast to continue our discussion there. You can find the links and the invite codes in our show notes. Christos, where can people find you when you aren't directing a flop of a movie?
Story
That's
of
the
my
best
life.
I got. I'm so
I've been
sorry, listeners.
I've
I'm so
I've
sorry.
been directing this flop since 1977. You can find me on Instagram and Bluesky at Greek Geek SD or at What's the T-Bev. You can find me in the Facebook group, the BQN Collective. You can find me in the Discord server. He's everywhere. So yeah, reach out. Let's talk, people. And Amy, where can people find you when you're not flamethrowing your way through Extinction?
Well, when I'm not doing that, you can find me here on the network where we are going to be starting up Union Federation. And so we're going to be covering all of the new Strange New World episodes. So that's going to be coming out this week. So go ahead, find Union Federation. I'm also in the Discord server. Really, that's my favorite place. I pop in on our Facebook group, the BQN Collective. And yeah, that's where you can find me.
Yeah, and I'm sure by the time listeners hear this episode, Infinite Diversity will have dropped back too. So,
Oh, yes.
things are all kind of getting going again now that the Star Trek engine is moving a little bit again.
Yes.
We didn't even talk about the fact that next week is Comic-Con, and there is a big Star Trek panel at Comic-Con.
Yes.
And so
Another Star Trek panel. Oh,
and there's some Star Trek exclusives at including this little plush badgie that I've got a couple orders out there for and whatnot. So I predict that by the time we record next week, Amy, we'll probably have seen our first footage of Starfleet Academy, and we'll be talking about that next week.
Ooh, can't wait. Are you going to go to San Diego Comic-Con at all?
Well, I'm gonna do the outside stuff. I don't actually do the ticket thing. I've gotten in there before. It is stressful and crowdy and people pushing and queues everywhere, and it's just not my
it's a
thing.
lot.
And there's no alcohol in there. I like to do the outside thing. There is going to be a Paramount pop-up with
great.
Star Trek, so I'm going to go investigate that. If there's good Star Trek merch, I got you. I'll bring it to Vegas. So so I think we'll actually have some Comic-Con coverage for next week's episode too.
Excellent. Very good.
If you'd like to help us keep all of our shows coming to you each week, you can become a patron of the network on Patreon. For just $1 a month, you can join our Let's Fly reaction show, script reading.
Oh, it's called Hit It now.
Hit It?
Yeah.
Sorry. I was thinking to myself, wasn't that just yesterday?
Yeah.
Did we record? Listeners, you know what I was up to yesterday. So you can join Hit It reaction show, script readings, and enjoy our special patron-only shows of It's Green and Amy's Math Moments. Visit patreon.com BQN and to get all the details and watch your messages. And listeners, do jump into the Discord. Let us know if you're coming to STLV. We'll see what we can do to kind of, if anything, even if it's just meet up at Masquerade for a BQN cocktail, we can do it.
Yes, we can. Now, if becoming a patron isn't your thing, you can still support the show by sharing our posts on social media, talking about it with your friends, sharing the episode. There's a little button and you just hit it and it says share the episode. So you can do that. You can also subscribe so you don't miss an episode and leave us a review, which really helps others to find our show.
At this time, we would like to thank our very own associate producers, Tim Cooper and JJ Seastrom. A special thanks to Graham Kelly for our opening and closing music, and to Kelvin for our weekly artwork each and every week. And he already did this week's episode in 5 minutes.
I know.
The request went in and the art came out.
Exactly.
It was almost like he had it ready.
All right. Thank you for listening.
We hope you'll join us as we search out
all good things.